What's up, everybody? It's your boy PTK BLAM back with another episode of the Shop Podcast live here on this beautiful Saturday evening. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate the support. Today is a really special Shop Podcast. This is our 50th show, everybody. That is insane. When I first started doing this, I never thought that we'd make it to this point, honestly. I didn't know. I didn't know, but the fact that we've had 50 podcasts under our belt is awesome. It's insane. So I appreciate the love and support from everybody here, everybody on Twitter, subscribes on YouTube. Man, it's awesome. It's awesome. So we got a couple of special guests here today. Try and do things differently every week. Sometimes we have the usual suspects on the panel. Other times I'm able to get some, cool other people on. So tonight we have, uh, stop in and actually let them talk for themselves. But tonight we have Mike. So go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Mike. Let everybody know what you're up to, where they can find you at.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming in to watch PTK's 50th episode of the Shop Podcast. Happy to be here. You can always find me on Twitter at Cadus511, and feel free to follow me on Xbox Live, just Cadus. Any follows, I'll be happy to return it back to you.
Awesome, man. Shout out, I appreciate it, man. This guy's been lurking on Twitter, man. You see him in the conversations, and he's always a cool dude, really knowledgeable, fun guy, so you guys follow him if you see him on Twitter. Another guy, this is kind of left field, man. My boy Predator, man, he is back. He stopped in with us, man. He, as you guys know, Predator's a regular on the Shop Podcast, one of my good friends, like a brother to me. He is deployed right now, so he made time for us tonight to actually stop in. I super appreciate that, Pred. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm up, man. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning here. I'm downloading Lost Odyssey. I'm on the shop again. I'm on the 50th episode, so man, I can't complain.
For sure, man. We love it, man. We missed you. Me and GKB was talking about you the other day. Matter of fact, on the last podcast, we were just talking about you. So missed you so much, man.
On my care package.
Yeah. Don't worry. The panties are on the way, man. Don't worry about it. All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and let the two other people here, some of these guys, you don't really even need to introduce them. Let me go ahead and start with you, Jar.
Hey, this is Jarhead once again. Glad to be here, especially on the 50th episode. It's a big deal. So just a fan. Just love to contribute whatever I can and have adult conversations regarding gaming. Doesn't always work that way, but it's fun.
For sure. And then we got the man who does not need a fucking introduction, the governor. Go ahead and shout out yourself, GKB.
What's up, everybody? It's GKB, the governor. Big shout out to Pred, man. We appreciate what you're doing, bro. I was there. I know how it is. Hope you come back safe and all that. So I'm glad to be on another podcast with Mike and everybody. Jar. Can't wait to get into these topics, man.
All right, for sure. So, guys, everybody, like I said before at the beginning of the show, this is a really special episode, the 50th podcast. So we're going to be doing something a little differently. Typically, we go gather up news throughout the week, and we kind of discuss the news, per standard podcast. This week for the 50th show, I kind of wanted to, since I made a video recently about the community and why I'm an Xbox gamer, I kind of wanted to prefix that and make the entire show about that today, because a lot of us have met on Twitter, a lot of us met on Xbox Live, a lot of us have met through the same medium. So I kind of wanted to tell our story about, how we got to Twitter and how we found the Xbox community, and let everybody around the panel kind of let everybody know, and everybody viewing where they started at, because all of us are friends now. We all play games together, and we just happen to like video games, which is awesome. So that's kind of what the show is going to be about today. And I'm asking you guys the same question. How did you guys get your start on Twitter, and how did you find the Xbox community? Or if you have a YouTube channel, what was your journey to this point? So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about here today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, GKB. So how did you find the actual Xbox community on Twitter, or decide you wanted to start I guess you can say, video game focused YouTube channel?
Man, like Twitter's kind of a weird one. I actually started like YouTube. I wasn't really into like the social media sites like Facebook or any of that kind of stuff. I actually started YouTube first. Was interacting with everyone that would watch the shows. I started off doing like COD gameplays, did unboxings and stuff of the consoles that came out. And then I started hearing about like Twitter from my friends, and She-Wolf and I started looking into it, created accounts, start finding like Xbox fans and gamers and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of snowballed from there. What really helped me out is like honestly like you, BLAM. You had like that whole try out kind of thing for the Shop podcast and stuff, and lo and behold I got on the show. So a big thanks to you, and then Crap, we got on the Xbox Nation, She-Wolf and I, and it just snowballed from there, man. We literally like started this year with like maybe 100 subs on our channel, and then just blew up, man, and we're at almost 2,500 now. So super thankful to the community. Without you guys, like we wouldn't be anything, honestly. So
Awesome. And that was interesting too, because ironically, Pred and GKB were part of the same thing. They both responded to the same tweet that I put out about the actual, and they both ended up being part of the Shop podcast. But yeah, that's awesome. I remember that too, man. That was early this year.
You remember?
Awesome.
I was telling you too, man. Like I was like, if by E3 I didn't have like 500 subs, I was like gonna close the channel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you said that. Fuck
and the community is like, fuck you, we're gonna stay around, bro. So.
I remember that too. You did say that. Good Lord. Now, and then like the month later, he had like 1,000 subs, so it was crazy. So yeah, they responded, man. I remember that too, man. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So let's go ahead and move on to you, Jar, man. What was your, how did you find the Twitter community, the Xbox, and kind of what was your start, man?
It's crazy, man, because I've been with, I guess you could say Team Xbox, as silly as that sounds sometimes, since the 360. But I think after 2013, when all this mess was going around with the whole Xbox and everybody's shitting on it, I kind of was like, wait a minute, I can't be the only one that's seeing, there's something off. So I remember I stumbled upon, it was one of the Crap Gamers, one of his first videos. He was basically, I think it was titled, what else can Microsoft do to, make everybody happy? And then from there, and then it said, hey, this is a suggestion, PTK BLAM. I was like, who the hell? All right, let me play that one. So it kind of just daisy chained from there. And by then, I never even messed with Twitter. I didn't care, and now I can't have enough of it. After that, I created an account and just started looking. I found Crap. I found, then Mooch came out of nowhere, and PTK. Since you came up with your channel, I think I was there. I think since your first video.
Yeah, dude, you have it.
I followed, and I remember when GKB came on board. And I was like, oh, man, this dude's cool. Then he announced his channel. I was like, all right, let me check it out. So it kind of daisy chained. I remember when She-Wolf was introduced, because I'll never forget it, because some asshat was just trying to be a jerk, like, oh, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And you tore up into that asshole. I was like, like, good shit. So, then She-Wolf, and then I started following her, and oh, that's GKB's wife. Fucking awesome. So, it's just daisy chain from there, and I've met people. I mean, just the other day I was chatting with Mike, and I know he was just on GKB's show last week. So just like that, it's just daisy chains. It's like, oh, man. And I don't know, it's crazy how it has blown up, because I don't think the Xbox community was ever this tight last gen, despite what some people try to say that there was a, PlayStation versus Xbox. I don't think it was ever that prevalent as it is this gen. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy how the community has grown into its own little ecosystem, like a little organism, a huge organism, because it's crazy, man. Everybody's just popping up. It's multiplicity if you think about it. So pretty much.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing about the so far GKB and Jar is that, like, you're right. It kind of just spawns from, you find one person, and then it kind of. My story is almost identical to Jar as far as how I started, and how I found the Twitter community on Xbox. Like, I was, after that reveal, I had questions. I saw differently. I saw the other side.
Yeah.
Of what everybody was complaining about. I'm like, okay, it's exactly what you said. I can't be the only one to thinking there's something more to this. So I was sitting one night, and I just happened to put in. I can't remember what I put in a search bar on Twitter. I can't remember exactly what it was. And not Twitter, but on YouTube. And I remember, shout out to Next Gen 720, man. He's really one of the first people to have like an Xbox-centric channel, man. I know Mooch calls him kind of like the godfather of the shit, but shout out to Next Gen, man. But I found his video. The shit was all like old and grainy. I don't know if he recorded it with like one of those. It was a terrible quality video, but he was talking about like the topics, just the same shit that I was saying. And he was just saying like, man, it's not that bad. And he was bringing up a lot of great points that I didn't hear the mainstream media talking about. Because at the time, I was still getting all my information from, Kotaku and from IGN and from all these different places. And all they were doing was shitting on Xbox at the time, and I had a different opinion. So, and it just kind of snowballed from there. I found crap, and then, a bunch of other people, BGST, and that got big, and then I decided to do it on my own and all this crazy stuff. So, it's been an awesome ride. So, what's the story for you, Fred, man? How did you start, man, on the Xbox community and
Well,
everything?
man, I've always been an Xbox guy. So that was pretty simple. Like I don't even know how I stumbled across like different YouTube channels. I don't know. Like if I was like in IGN or something like that. Maybe I was on Reddit or something. I got a link to a video, and I think it was BGST, and I listened to that first. And then I started listening to people in chat, and like I wasn't even hardcore on Twitter at the time. I don't even think I had an account, but I created an account just to follow some people that I was interested in listening to their podcast. So I started off with BGST. I started listening to Showstoppers videos and Craps videos, and then I started following a bunch of other YouTubers, including you, BLAM. And so like I was in your videos all the time because I think I got online with you maybe like your second or third video in, and me and you were kind of conversating through one of your chats in your one of your videos. And then I followed you on Twitter. Me and you start chatting on there, and then you're like, yo man, come on the show. And so I jumped on, and I had no experience whatsoever. And you kind of pushed me to even start my own channel because I was like, I'm gonna start it. And it took me like 4 months to get it, but I wanted to get all my shit together. So I I had to go get the equipment and kind of like study a little bit and see what I wanted to do, come up with a routine. And I mean, my channel isn't nearly as big as any of y'all's right now, but I've had the same few followers I've had since I started my channel, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. Coming here where I'm at now isn't helping things either. But so I had to put my channel on pause for a minute. But I mean, I still follow everybody. I still listen to as much, even if it's like just 15 minutes of a video before I go to work or something like that. I still support the community. So if it wasn't for you, man, I wouldn't even have a channel right now.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. That's crazy. The funny thing is, GKB, you guys tell me that, and I'm like, man, I don't take credit for none of that shit. I just see people who have a passion for video games. Like dead honest, I will not refuse to take credit for any of that. So I guess it's just happenstance. Good people come together, we have like minds, and stuff happens. So I appreciate you guys more than you guys would think, man. You guys drive me.
I won't take credit for it, but
I don't even.
He is the reason.
I won't, man. I refuse, man. You guys are awesome, man. So it's great to have friends, and that's another one of the biggest reasons why I joined the Xbox community on Twitter, and finding you guys and finding people that like mine. So it was just awesome because you know what, Jar hits the nail on the head. There wasn't an Xbox community at all. There was no Xbox presence on YouTube. I didn't really know about Twitter at the time. I started Twitter. I could probably check my bio here, but I started Twitter probably something like that, early 2010. So I haven't been on Twitter super long. Well, it's just, it snowballed from there. But Mike, let's go ahead and get your story, man. How did you stumble up upon the Xbox community on Twitter?
Well, it's funny because I'm hearing everybody telling their stories, and everybody kind of has a similar story. And so mine's going to be a little bit more of the same. A lot like Jarhead. It was back in 2013 after they had the May reveal for the Xbox One hardware, and then there was E3 in June. And at the time, my daughter, she was still maybe 7 or 8 months old at the time. So I just remember one night I was sitting rocking her to sleep, and I would, listen to YouTube videos. Usually I'd watch like some gameplay, some Let's Plays or whatever else was going on. And happened to stumble across a video that was just ripping on Microsoft and Xbox because of what was being revealed about the Xbox One. And I didn't agree with it at all. I mean, I really bought into Microsoft's vision for the future with the always online, which a lot of people hated. I thought it was great being able to share games and all that kind of stuff. And happened across one of Craps' videos where he basically said why I'm buying an Xbox One. And I hadn't seen any other videos that said anything like that. I listened to his video. I liked what he said, so I started listening to more of his stuff again while I was rocking my daughter to sleep every night. And it just kind of snowballed from there. After a couple of weeks of him doing videos, BGST started up. Next Gen started that podcast with him and Crap, and I think there may have been a few others to start, and it's been kind of like a rolling snowball since then. But so that introduced me to Next Gen. I think I can't remember when I started up my Twitter account, but I used to work for Verizon Wireless doing technical support, and I started a Twitter account long before I ever got involved in the community, just so I could help somebody else set up theirs, because that's why they called in. But yeah, so I started seeing things on Twitter where Twitter, here's my Twitter handle, and I'd never followed anybody on Twitter before, so I started doing that. And over the years, it's amazing how much the community has grown. And I think that everything really came because there was a need. There was this vacuum where you had everybody preaching about what the PS4 was going to bring. And, I was coming off the Xbox 360. I loved my Microsoft exclusives. I wanted to move on to the Xbox One. And this was a time in my life where instead of having every console that was out on the market, I was only going to have to buy one. I'm an adult now. I'm not a kid like I was in the previous generation. And, Xbox One was my choice. And with that vacuum of no good information coming out about Microsoft or even like-minded gamers sharing their opinions, that's why I became a part of the community and why I've just become such an adamant member on Twitter and on all the YouTube podcasts. I don't always get to watch them live, but I always watch them throughout the week. I'll listen to them while I'm at work and everything. So it's been a great couple of years for us, the way everything's grown.
The funny thing is, shout out to Mooch too, because me and Mooch, before I even, I won't say before, but me and Mooch started our channels. Me and Mooch used to bet. He'd tell me weeks before he decided he was going to start his channel, hey man, I'm going to start a channel. I used to have to dude, you need to start your channel. And he'd be like, no, you need to start your channel. I'm like, dude, don't worry about my channel. You need to start your channel. We used to go back and forth weeks before we both started doing this YouTube shit. And so shout out to Mooch. That is ironic though. All of us kind of, man, that's pretty crazy, man. There was a huge vacuum. And you're right, Mike. There was absolutely nobody at that period of time. It was like the dark ages.
But see,
everybody was literally yeah.
But that tells you what has been going on, how there was apparently a monopoly, because it took somebody to say, wait a minute. It took for somebody to be the black sheep and be like, wait a minute, this shit doesn't smell right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think crazy. A lot of it had to do with how much of a hold the Xbox 360 had on the previous generation. There were a lot of Sony fans that really felt left out. And this is my own personal opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but that's what I'm thinking. So with the way social media has changed over the years, the way that YouTube podcasting became more prevalent, I think that once the PS4 got that upper hand, that they just really used that to their advantage right out the gates. And, we've been catching up and just, like I said, making it more of a place where everybody can get together no matter what you like or what you prefer.
Exactly.
Definitely. I know you guys can all share the same sentiment about this, is that there was absolutely nowhere you could go to get outside website or their YouTube page, or you couldn't get any information, especially around that time. Big, news places were all running with the same information.
Exactly, yeah.
A different opinion. Twitter came in, you find these like-minded people, and it's definitely grown. I mean, even when I started my podcast back in mid 2015, around end of August or early September, there was only maybe one or two. BGS was a podcast, guys with quarters. There was maybe another one also too. Now we have there's 2 or 3 podcasts a day.
Yeah. Can't keep up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with. It's been a great ride for all of us, man. It really has. Yeah, it definitely has. It definitely has. And I encourage anybody, if you have, to say if you're an Xbox fan, man, you want to do the YouTube podcast, it's great. I mean, it's awesome being part of the community. It's awesome having your content, so I'd say do it. But so let's go ahead and move on. I know we kind of started today, but let's go ahead and move on. Another thing I wanted to talk about too was obviously next year. 2017 is coming on fast. 2016 is wrapping up. We got like 2 weeks,
Yep, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
something like
Damn.
that. So, and yeah, it's crazy. 2016 is blew by, and so I kind of wanted to. It's kind of a funny topic. So, what are you guys' standout moments of 2016? Not necessarily just like games or anything, just anything you can remember. Maybe it was like a huge, some big deal or something that happened. Anything that stands out from being 2016. Anything that like that you remember, like, oh wow, this was a thing back then. 6, 7, 8 months ago. Maybe
Well,
you've been kind of quiet.
I mean,
So
oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, for me, the biggest standout moment, at least the one that had the biggest impact, was the PS4 Pro reveal event. Just because we had all this leaked information months prior, and it didn't look that great on paper. So I was expecting that the PS4 Pro was going to be a lot mo and not just a little bit mo. So when the Pro reveal came out and proved that all that leaked documentation was true, that was a pretty big standout moment for the industry for me.
okay, cool. Botting guys, I know.
Yeah, you're botting a little bit, bro.
Okay. Okay.
It comes and goes.
All right. So GKB.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just real quick. Go ahead and keep the topic going.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it's kind of the same as Mike's. Like I'm a tech guy. Like I do tech, for my job and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really into tech, and seeing the I guess the leaks or rumors of the possible iterations, mid-gen iterations of consoles, and what was that going to bring? Were we going to be able to like swap in and out like graphic cards? Just the rumor mill was just going nuts. That was kind of like my whole like standpoint. And now that we're seeing like with the PS4 Pros now launched, what that's getting like the checkerboard rendering, and and it's like 4 teraflops, and the Scorpio is right around the corner, which is going to be like 6 teraflops, and now I'm just really interested in where we're going to go as far as that is. Like we're going to get like closer power wise to PCs. So I'm just hoping that the games just get bigger and better, and not like spend too much time on the resolution. There's a lot of buzzwords like 4K, 1080p, and all this other stuff. But I just want bigger, better games, and honestly, games that just aren't broken on launch, and they're taking the time to fix that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, like the iterations of the consoles was the big thing for me.
Okay, cool. Do I sound a little bit better, or am I still botting?
No, you're good, man.
No,
better.
you're clear
Okay,
now.
Yeah,
Much better.
All right, cool. So, Pred, what about you, man? Anything that you remember from 2016, man, that was a big deal for you?
Looking back at the beginning of the year and where Xbox was to where it is at the end of this year, you got to think what happened at the beginning of the year. We had Quantum Break come out with all the controversies of it going to Windows 10. You had the Rise of Tomb Raider coming out. I think it came out the year prior, but I think they announced it was coming out on PlayStation a year later. There's all this negative press, and it seemed like nothing Microsoft could do was working. They were coming out with shit like in the middle of the year, like the controllers and the Slim and stuff like that. But like January, February, March, it seems like it was this bad press after bad press after bad press. No matter what game they had coming out, there was always something wrong with it. They got attacked. Fable getting canceled, all that shit happened at the beginning of the year. And then, you go fast forward into like August, September timeframe when we get the Slim. We get all this good news. We get the new controllers and stuff like that, and it's been a complete, 180, from what the beginning of the year was. So for me, it's basically the whole year of like the Microsoft just like kind of like taking back, a little bit of that piece of the pie that Sony had a hold of for the first couple of years of the generation. And that's it, man. And like even looking forward into next year, there's something to look forward to, because I think a lot of people were kind of like, man, what the fuck are they doing at the beginning of the year? We were upset with them, like crap was mad at them. We were kind of not saying bashing Xbox, but we kind of had our fingers, arms in the air, like, man, what's going on? And hopefully this next year will be a big year for Microsoft and what they're trying to do. I think once everyone kind of accepted the whole Windows 10 thing, you know, we moved on from that and we've accepted it for what it is and looking towards the future, what Microsoft's going to bring. So for me, it was like the whole year of just the up and downs that Microsoft had gone through with us as consumers.
That's a good point. I remember that too. It was it was pretty hectic, man, earlier this year. You're right about the bad press and the bad news, and QB came out like you said, and it had some bad press surrounding it, you know, due to various reasons. The whole Tomb Raider thing, like you were saying, is true. There was a lot of stuff going on, so that is a big deal, man. It seems like once they announced that the Slim changed everything really for Xbox, because it took on a life of its own. I mean, that thing took off, and honestly, I'll go on the record and I admit it, a pre E3 show or pre, you know, kind of E3 type deal, and I said the Xbox One didn't need a Slim. I said I didn't think they needed big of a deal, but hey, I was wrong. It ended up being huge for Microsoft and Xbox. So, yeah, definitely. So, Jar, it's on you, man. Did it already get to you?
No. I'm kind of following up on what Predator mentioned. It's just Microsoft's vision and the fact that Phil is sticking to his guns. Because even recently, you see people, you know, when people freaked out over a fucking Sony show, he basically came out and said, okay, we don't make moves based on somebody else's plans. You know what I mean? So I like the whole idea, the whole UDP, the one ecosystem of Windows 10 and the Xbox. The fact that, I mean, I'm a big tech guy, just like GKB and Martin. I mean, Mike, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, who's Martin?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the hell stuff. Did I put the
I
link
know,
up
man.
there? You know, accident?
I go by many
My
names.
bad. But you know, I'm big on technology. Like this whole cloud thing, like I am all for it. I'm excited. Like, again, just piggyback on what Predator said, is amazing how the Xbox and the whole live system has evolved since 2013. Not many companies can survive that if you think about it. I mean, if you look at the history anywhere, not many companies. How long did it take Apple to become what Apple is today? I mean, just think about it, and you know what I mean. And Apple pretty much rules the fucking world, and Google. But you know, just to think of what these guys have done in 3 years, man, that's amazing. And fuck the fanboy shit. Like, let's put that to the side. Fuck what you prefer. I mean, anybody with any common sense, any technical sense, even if you're not that technical, but I mean, just think what these guys have done. Like, we got mid-cycle an entirely new operating system, and this shit didn't catch fire and burn. Think about it. I mean, again, so that is extremely is awesome to see, because I am a big tech guy. I like the behind the scenes stuff. You know, the whole stuff with Crackdown. Remember when, you know, with the cloud, that was a running joke for quite a while. That was everybody, the cloud,
Yeah,
that doesn't exist. Okay, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
The memes, man.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things, and it just shows you how unprofessional. Because, okay, even if you have your doubts, but you as a professional, you should have some common sense. Like, hey, this is a tech giant. I mean, not too long ago, there was no fucking planes, and the cell phones were size of a fucking brick. You know what I mean? So it just shows you that the so-called media is just a whole bunch of fucking kids that have no sense. Like, you know, so if the evolution, long story short, that's what has been awesome for me to witness and follow and keep up with, because that's pretty outstanding. Again, not many companies can really come back from that, because, you know, if you think about it, Microsoft could have just said fuck it and cut the cord and not deal with Xbox, and we would not have an Xbox today. So to me, that's it's huge.
Good point. You know, the funny thing, I want to bring up something. I know this is kind of a touchy subject. You know, and I'm sure everybody's going to shake their head when I mention this, but 2016, this generation, I feel like, has been big narrative, like you said, you know, keywords, things like that. You were saying GKB and Predator, but the media has been more like prevalent this generation than ever. I didn't care much about gaming media when during the 360 era and PS3 era. I didn't give a shit about gaming media, whatever the case may be. But since the Xbox One came out, PS4 came out. I mean, it's definitely the gaming media has took center stage with a lot of the biggest controversies, a lot of misinformation, a lot of different things. And I'm not solely talking about Xbox, because they do it for everybody. They do it more so for others, obviously. But so I kind of want to talk to you guys about that and pose a question. I mean, for the most part, but just from the gaming media, would you guys like to see it? We don't know if that's ever going to happen. But is there anything that you guys feel like that they change? That's kind of I guess a New Year's resolution to the gaming media. Like, what would you like to see from the gaming media? I'll start with you, GKP.
We got another 2 hours to go on this one because I'll be here for a while.
Long list.
Yeah, like I've been pretty, outspoken about the gaming media, not in the sense of like, I've been more about like the reviews and all that kind of stuff. Like, I want a fair review no matter what the game, what the platform. Like, why can't we do fair reviews? And that's a big thing to me because it misleads the gamers and people that don't really know that much about gaming. The other thing I like to see, with the media and I want to touch this on real quick. Danny O'Dwyer from GameSpot, he left GameSpot and on his own accord. There was nothing wrong with it. But he started his own YouTube channel. And he's doing his own thing now. He just did a video probably about a week and a half ago, and he was super candid.
Danny O'Dwyer.
Yeah, Danny O'Dwyer. And he did this video explaining like really candidly about the gaming media and what it's all about. And, it's all about the money and the click. Like, he was really, really honest about it. And that's one of the big reasons that he left, is because it's all of it. He's like, I want it to be all about the games. Like, let's focus on the games. Let's not focus on the clickbait. Let's not just get stuff out because, we need this many views for this, that, and the other. And that was really refreshing to hear. And I hope, he starts like some kind of infection in the gaming media and people start to wake up and, and bring it back to what it's really about for us and everyone else is the games, man. Like, that's, why I do what I do. One for the community and one for games, man. So I mean, I've said multiple times, I'd like to, pretty much like nobody lose their job, but we need like a whole clean slate done here in the media, game wise anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to see. Hope for.
I would like to see a return to form to the way
gaming media has been.
Okay, I was just gonna say the way it was before this generation, or even the previous generation, but before the internet and the clickbait and the websites and the advertisements. I mean, I don't remember any console wars type stuff when I used to read like EGM magazine, like back when it was actually a physically printed magazine. Game Informer. Like there were so many great magazines back in the day, and the internet kind of destroyed those, brought it into a new way of thinking and a new way of being media. And now it's all about what's happening today. Whereas in the past, you would write your articles, and they'd be printed a month or two later, so you couldn't be current with what was happening in social media. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest downfalls that we're seeing in the media itself is that they're just like what that one candid article was saying. It's all about getting the clicks, what's going to cause the most traffic to be generated on my site. And right now, what causes the most traffic is whatever is going to trigger one group or the other.
Yep.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. Yep. So, okay, cool. So what about you, Jar?
Well, kind of touching on both what Mike and GKB said. I mean, long story short, I want to see some actual professionalism. Like, for example, I mean, think about it this way. I mean, some fairness. Like on these reviews, like, okay, I get it. Gears is not for everybody. But when you have this piece of shit game, what was it, No Man's Sky? They review the same. It's like putting Mooch to review the Kamisaki Dragon shit. The motherfucker hates it. Why the fuck would you give it to him to review? So I would like to see some consistency and some professionalism. I mean, it's one of those things like, since when did it become cool to shit on a company just because you don't like their product? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't like Apple products, even though I have an iPhone because my wife tricked me into it. But That doesn't mean I'm gonna deny that the motherfucker is a good ass phone. It works. It does what it needs to do. So some professionalism will go a long way. It's like you know what I mean. I've always said it. I said it a few weeks back that it's a shame that GKB and She Wolf in a fucking day while drinking coffee, probably taking care of their kids, they came up with a better award show than this motherfucker did in an entire year with a shitload of money behind it.
Appreciate that, man.
So you know what I mean? So why do which goes back to the beginning of the podcast. The way the community has grown and multiplied is because of the need. How is it that podcasts done by people for free that have nothing to gain from it just because they fucking love the community, they love games, they love the product, whatever, is better than whatever gets more views, has more activity, is more relevant than these guys that actually get paid to fucking do it. I mean, and for some reason everybody turns a blind eye. Like, nobody pay attention to the fact that Mooch and Crap in the mornings, BLAM, GKB, She Wolf, all these guys have more relevant information and topics than when Ryan McCraffy, whatever his fucking name is, it's on IGM. When I try to watch one, I really did. I try to watch one in Spark. That shit is garbage. They tell you the topic, but they don't touch the topic towards the end of it.
Well, they're going to talk about whatever was given to them by whichever company that week. It's not
but you see what
about.
I mean? Exactly. Yeah. And it defeats the purpose, because then at that point, okay, you're not talking about gaming. You're just a fucking commercial.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things. They have to get back to some professionalism. Like, how these some so-called journalists, really fuel the fanboy wars. How they say shit that they know is going to trigger a certain group. That annoys me.
Well, how many articles have we seen about Microsoft selling off the Xbox division in the past 3 or 4 years?
They still talking about it.
Exactly. And what was it? Just a couple of days ago, there was an article that came out where some analysts were talking about how Sony might be moving into more of a service, type of company, that they're going to be focusing on hardware. You see how much hate these articles are getting when they go up? Where was all that hate when anything was put up about, Microsoft maybe spinning off the Xbox division? There wasn't any. It's just, there's this group on the internet right now that I feel is a vocal minority, but they're what's generating the traffic to all these gaming websites.
And Metacritic, and I'm sorry, just my last point. I just got to get this off my chest. I don't know if I brought it up, but apparently, they got guys. There was these two assholes. Metacritic. I fucking hate that site. I think it's one of the most useless sites around. I don't see why it's such a big deal. When the other day, I think K-Mega printed out, he took a picture. These two assholes were publicly discussing how they're going to keep creating, new accounts just to downgrade Dead Rising.
I saw that.
Like, my thing is like, okay, I get it. You don't like Xbox. But you do realize people have worked for years. That's somebody's job. Like, just because it's not on your fucking box, why would you do that? Like, that's the type of shit that I don't like. Like, I'm vocal to some of the stupid shit that Sony does. I'm not a fan of them. But I'm not gonna go and shit and go make up these fake reviews just to downvote it, just so it could look like shit on Amazon or Metacritic. Like, that shit bothers me.
Jarhead, I mean, that's a great point. I think Metacritic, it serves so many purposes to the gaming media, because if you're a critic, if you've got let's say I want to generate some, PS4 fans to my website today, there's an Xbox exclusive coming out, I'm going to give it a low score because they're going to trust that review. They're going to come and read that review. And it's going to generate traffic from the Xbox fans as well, because they're going to go on there to see why is this person hating it so much. So they're getting the best of both worlds. And it's, Metacritic is helping tie all those strings together for them.
I guess.
So we can't, let's not forget about Digital Foundry either. So
those assholes. Yeah. I try not to say their name. Those assholes don't deserve it.
All right, so I know you hadn't got a chance yet, Fred. So I mean, what do you think about it? We've had a lot to say about the media, and I typically don't talk about them too much, but since it's the 50th, I figure fuck it, we might as well get it out there at the end of the year. Let's get started 2017 on a clean slate. So how are you feeling about the gaming media, man?
Man, I just want just fair unbiased reporting. I mean, and you're not gonna get that when you have assholes like those guys that making fake accounts. You know, yeah, I mean, it's all about money. I get it, but be fair. You know, like don't just bash one system. You know, so if anything, you know, the media needs to get back to the basics and get back to honest reporting and stuff. And you know, like some of the stuff they were doing, they're giving games people who don't play the games. They're making them review Xbox games, but then like you get a review from a diehard Uncharted 4 fan. Of course, he's gonna give that game a fucking 10. You know, and then you're gonna have a guy reporting on Forza that doesn't even like racing games. You know, like it makes no sense. So like, why would you put as a person who's in charge of a company, a media company, why would you put somebody in charge of something that they don't even enjoy in the first place? You know, you find somebody who likes what they're doing and likes the system they're on. I'm not saying to play up to the system of choice, but if you're a racing fan, shouldn't you be the guy reporting on a racing game? You know, you should be the guy. You should be begging to write that one, not like, oh fuck, I got stuck with Gears again. You know, like, and you
Exactly.
hate Gears. You know, I mean, the media this year, this generation, I mean, has been on some other shit this year. I don't understand what the fuck it is, and that's why you have companies like, what was it, Gawker, I think, got shut down or some shit like that. Like a couple of media outlets got closed. You know,
Yeah.
and
Game
like GKB
trailers.
said, yeah, I'm not a fan of someone getting fired, but if you're not doing your job, well, fuck you. You get fired. I mean, that's how the companies work. And for like Microsoft in particular, like they'll send money or they'll send games to these companies or they'll get these deals, you know, these like Titanfall, like Tomb Raider, you know, or some EA deal or something like that. This past year, this happened all with all three of those companies. Somebody that's working for that company has come out and shit on Microsoft right before launch. Fire that motherfucker. I mean, I'm sorry, but like you can't have a person supporting you financially and then you come out and you bash them. You can't do that. I mean, you can't do that in the real world. I can't do that right now and talk shit to my commander. You don't do that shit in business. That's a
Exactly.
grounds for firing, and nothing's been said about this. No one talks about it. Like, I
Nope.
mean, maybe behind the scenes something happens, but like, I want to see. I want to see what the fuck's going on with that. I want to see somebody's head get stuck on a stake because they went outside of their fucking way to bash the hands that feeds them.
Yeah.
So this year, Microsoft, not Microsoft, but this the media themselves. Hopefully next year, when the Scorpio releases, they'll you know they'll flip flop. I guess you know I'm begging they at least you know give the shit a chance and not bash it before it
Yeah.
comes out.
Honestly, I don't want them to flip flop. I want them to just fucking eat some crow
Yeah, that'd be
and
nice.
just, you know what I mean, and just have some fucking balls and report on what it is instead of looking for flaws. Because that's a problem. If you really look at some of the so-called professional reviews, whatever the fuck that is these days, basically it's not even a review on how the game plays, what it looks like, how it is, how the story. No, if you really take some time and really read into it, it's like these motherfuckers are looking for what is broken. It's like, my man,
Yep. It's a
you're
negative,
not,
man.
yeah, you're not a software tester, motherfucker. This is a video game. Play the motherfucker and report on it. That is it. And but apparently they try to put certain things into a microscope and look for things that is not there. A perfect example, Recore. By no means perfect, but are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna shit on that game, but then the one about the rat dog bird chicken thing that gets a fucking 90? Come on, man.
That's a huge double standard in the media right now.
You know what I mean? So things like that, you know, fuck them all at this point.
And you know the funny thing is that you know we're all saying this, but there's one word that covers all of the entire gamut of what we said, and that's integrity. I'd like to see integrity come back to journalism. You know, that's the biggest thing for me. You know, guys, this is even hard for me to talk about. You know, GKB, Fred, you guys know me. I don't give a shit about media. I don't even like to talk about it. So, but honestly, my take on the whole thing is I just feel like there is a narrative. I'm not some guy running around with a fucking tinfoil hat on, so I'm not gonna sit up here and act like there's a conspiracy theory. But a lot of the shit they're saying is real. It's true. I mean, we've seen it on a daily basis. I knew this generation going to shit, but I knew this generation was different when matter of fact, it was one day, I can't remember what game it was, and I was looking at a review on it. Person or every single different like website I would go to about the game, the first thing that they mentioned was the frames per second and the fucking 720p, whatever the case may be. You're not mentioning anything about gameplay. Is it fun at all? You know what I'm saying? So I figured like it just that whole resolution and power and all of that shit, like it's driving the wrong. They hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's led a lot of gamers. I feel like I don't want to say they owe us, but I feel like the integrity, needs to be back where it was. I mean, there was a time where I don't know about you guys, but I know they have to get our fucking information out of. We used to wait one time a month so we can get our information. That was it. You know what I'm saying? That was all the information that we got for that month, and we have to wait till next month to the new EGM come out or new Game Informer, whatever the case may be. That's when really where it was at. I mean, people took their time with these things. They really, there was no clickbaity advertising type shit. So I like to see it get back to that. I mean, I don't know. Social media is
Man, you're botting again, Brian.
So you can get a hold of these. Okay.
I got the gist of what you were saying, though. Like we had that 1 month lapse.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot clearer.
Yeah.
No, go ahead and finish, Mike.
Well, it's like what you were saying. I was just gonna build off that because you're kind of breaking up a little bit. But with the monthly magazines that were in circulation, you got your lump sum of information if you chose to read it all in one day, like I did when I was younger, or if you spread that out over the month, that was your own personal choice. But you had to wait that month before you'd get new information, and I think that really helped prevent the spread of false information and prevent the spread of rumors. You had a lot more of a traditional journalistic integrity to it because you would have to write your article and submit it to an editor. I mean, I'm assuming, I never worked for any of these gaming magazines or anything, but I have a feeling that there was just a little bit more oversight to it than what we're seeing nowadays. Nowadays, it just seems to be all driven by money, driven by greed, and that allows information to get out that maybe shouldn't be put out there because it hasn't been, properly vetted the way that it should be.
Good point. Am I still botting you guys, or am I good?
No, you're good, bro.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that, chat. The Google guys aren't with me today, so sometimes the shit's a little dicey. Okay, cool. So I know we got about probably a good 10, 15 minutes left in the show. So they've been talking, so I kind of want to take a few questions from the chat. GKB, I know you got the game night tonight, brother. So let everybody know what's going down with the game night. What game's going to be played?
Yeah, sure, man. 9:30 tonight, we're going to be playing Battlefront. She starts a party. Everybody can come in and join us, hang out. We usually have a couple of YouTubers, and then everybody else can come in, have a good time, play some Battlefront, shoot everybody.
Pew, pew, pew.
Cool. Awesome. Anyone can put them in the chat. Once again, if you didn't know, this is the 50th episode, real special. Have a lot of great guys here today. So yeah, everybody just put your questions in the chat. I will pose questions to the panel. We'll keep it moving here. Anything anybody else just want to talk about? Mike, Fred, you guys got anything else you guys just want to talk about here? Anything going on in gaming this week that you guys just want to bring up?
Free games. I'm excited about that, man. I actually got Outlast, and I just downloaded Lost Odyssey. Xbox looks like they're trying to up their JRPG game a little bit. So I'm not a huge JRPG fan, but if it's free, I'll try it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I'm not a huge fan of JRPGs. Personally, I feel like having grown up with video games in my life, since the early to mid 80s, I've seen my fair share of JRPGs, so that doesn't really drive me to buy one console over the other, is that particular genre of gaming. I realize there is certainly a group of people that wants to see those type of games, and I'm glad that Microsoft seems to be, taking some measures to get that genre back onto their system. But yeah, I mean, Lost Odyssey, I mean, that's just a huge reach out to the community as a whole and saying like, hey, we have some great JRPGs that maybe didn't do so well when we invested money into them before, but if that's what you're clamoring for, we still have them available, and now they're backwards compatible, which, again, being a free service on the Xbox One is awesome for anybody that wants to continue to have their games as they grow into future generations.
BLAM still there?
Anybody else?
Did Mike? Is Mike still there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still here. Did I cut out?
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, you cut out. You.
Oh, well, I'm
Sorry about everybody. Google acting up. Google
It's
acting
not
up
like
today,
BLAM
so
right
I don't know what's going on, but it's time from time. It happens, but yeah, I'm botting out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I botting out still?
Nope.
Uh,
Nope, you're good.
I'm good now. Cool.
I thought my internet was
All right.
supposed to suck.
Thanks for taking. You want to ask? Oh,
You're
man.
botting BLAM.
Hey, you know, matter of fact, when you started, goodness. Okay. Hold on. So let me see here. You guys hear me now a little bit better?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I just got the little one running around.
Miss anything? So I know I've been botting out quite a bit, so
My money looking good.
we got it left. You got a fan, Mike?
Yeah, I saw that in there. Yeah, I don't know why I look the way I do. It's just the way I turn out in the mornings.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. Okay. All right. So like I said before, just put your, and we're gonna keep moving here. We got maybe 10 minutes left or so. So yeah, anything you want to bring up, GKB? What's going on next week on the console corner, man? I know your schedule's changing. You guys are there.
Yeah, for the console corner next week, we're going to be talking about the end of year, pretty much like a year in review type thing for, all the consoles and games and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of our Christmas show. We're going to do a lot of cool things for the community and stuff. It's going to be a good time, man. And then after that, we're going to have the Video Game Awards the next week after that. We tallied up all the scores and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a good show. Can't wait to give some love back to the community and some games and stuff, man. That's about it.
If I need to wear a suit, GKB, do I need to wear tux?
I'm trying to get like a top hat or something, man. I don't know. You
Oh,
don't have to do
hey, that'll be fresh, man. Hey, I'll turn my camera on for that. I look good in the suit.
Hey, get one of those suits from the guys from Dumb and Dumber.
Nothing looks better than
All right,
Pastel.
so yeah, I know, right? Jesus Christ. Oh, T-Wolf said yes. Everyone has to dress up, so it's confirmed. You get
Oh shit!
up, man.
That's fine.
That means you got to shave, bro.
I'm gonna wear my eye patch and everything, bro.
Yeah. Hey, whoa! Eye patch, so overboard, man.
Hey, so I see a question in the chat here. Mr. Solo Dolo, he wants to know what's our most anticipated game for 2017.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Oh, so many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We'll start with GKB. Go ahead, bro. You can tackle that one first.
All right. I'm really stoked for Sea of Thieves and Scalebound. I'm also actually pretty stoked about Horizon Zero Dawn. I think the game looks really cool. I don't know at this point if it's gonna have a good story or not. Guerrilla Games is kind of up in the air when it comes to that, but their games do look beautiful. It does look interesting. So I'm kind of anticipated about that. That's about it, really, man.
Cool. Anybody else want to tackle that question, Jar?
Yeah, Scalebound. Even though there's no official date, but I think we can all say that it's 2017. And on the PlayStation side, even though I'm a huge Forza, GT is still the granddaddy of racing. I want to see that game look and play like that trailer. I'm not gonna lie. That and even the Horizon Zero Dawn, because it does look good. But it's one of those things. Nobody really knows what the heck the game is about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I don't think
Sorry
the
about
baby
that. I
likes
got upset
Horizon.
about Gran Turismo.
Yeah, he got pissed. He's a Horizon guy. That's why.
All right, cool. So yeah, you guys want to tackle that question? About the
For
most
me, man, Ghost
anticipated?
Recon. I've been waiting on this game for like 8
Oh,
years.
yeah, go.
I'm a huge fan of the franchise, so yeah, I'll be waiting. That comes out in March, I believe. So I'll be stuck here, but I'll be playing it. So
Which game
that's
is that?
You know what? Ghost
Recon.
Recon Wildlands. Is it-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
Ghost
forgot all about that game.
There's a lot of
Dude,
games
everybody
coming out
has.
next year I keep forgetting about.
Shoot, I forgot all about that. Yeah, that game. Yeah, good big man.
Yeah,
Looks
Ghost Recon.
badass.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of games coming out next year that I keep forgetting about because I think there have been so many great games come out this fall that I can't get my head past them. But after this Resident Evil 7 demo came out, I'm really excited to play that. I've loved the Resident Evil series. I think it was one of the series that really like turned me into a gamer for life. Resident Evil 1, I still remember sitting down with my friend when I was like 9 or 10 years old playing that. And that just changed my world because that was the first time I ever played a PlayStation game, and I hadn't seen full motion video in a game or anything. But that Resident Evil 7 demo, it really made me change my opinion about the game. I wasn't interested in it at first, but now I'm really looking forward to playing that. And it's coming out pretty soon, so that's also exciting. I keep forgetting that it's coming out like another month or two, I think.
Okay, cool. All right, so am I
I
still
forgot
biting?
Mass
Can you guys hear
Effect.
me pretty well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mass Effect is in there. Okay, cool. Mass Effect is down there too. So Thieves, shot to the top of my list after seeing that technical alpha, the little video. As far as I was already hyped for that game anyway. Man, I was like, good lord, I didn't even get over the water in that game. Like I don't even. I don't even need to use it for that water.
Get lost in the water.
I want to jump in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But no, it's just that game looks fantastic. I'm super interested to see the online portion of that game. To see how that interacts, see how big the world is, the things we can do. I'm really interested in seeing that. State of Decay 2 also.
Oh yeah, State of Decay.
Really want to see. Yeah, State of Decay 2, man. I know that game's gonna.
They
be
have
fantastic.
a lot of games, man. It's hard to pick. Wait, so many freaking games.
And also Zelda. Also Zelda for me. It's gonna be
Zelda
huge. I'm a fanboy for Zelda. If you don't know me by now, I'm a fanboy for Zelda. I'm sorry, I can't help it. So as much as I talk shit about Nintendo, yeah, I probably will, honestly. I'm not ashamed to say that. So as big as a fan I am, but that game's on the horizon. Horizon does look cool. Horizon Zero Dawn looks cool. Graphically, it looks beautiful, but that's typical from Guerrilla Games. I mean, all the kill zones always look great, but the story wasn't worth a damn story. So that no replay value there. But we'll see about one of those games that where they've fleshed out a good story and they got a real winner on it. Those are probably my 3 or 4 games that I'm really looking. Is there any other questions before we wrap it up? I've been kind of looking at something else to see. Anything else here? Anything? No. Looks like I'm not seeing any questions here. So looks like everybody, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. Appreciate you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. But the Google guys weren't with us today, kind of back and forth. We'll get it figured out next time. But I want to go around the panel, let everybody know where they can find you. Before we do that, speaking of shout out, this is what I want to do too before we get into all of that. I got some big shout outs that I want to give. First shout out is to GKB and She-Wolf, obviously. They're family, at this point. They're just games. If you're not following them, they have great content. Please go follow them. And Predator.
Appreciate it, bro.
Big shout out. Big shout out to you guys, man. You guys are truly like family to me, man. Shout out to the entire Xbox community, the gaming community in general. Jarhead. I mean, you're fairly new, man. When I click, I click with people like family. So, you're always welcome, man, on the show. So much.
Appreciate it, man.
Just meeting you but you're awesome. So as dog, Aaron Greenberg, and Phil Spencer, the entire Xbox executives, a lot of people that I wanted to give a shout out to, but all you fans and subscribers. So I wanted to do that before we ended the show because it's important. 2016 is winding down, and gotta let everybody know that I appreciate the support and everything like that. So, in saying that, Jarhead, let everybody know where they can find you, man, before we wrap this up.
Everybody can find me on Twitter. I don't have a YouTube channel.
Yet he doesn't have one yet.
You mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm that's my Twitter handle. That's Jarhead 2001. I'm also on Xbox Live. Same gamer tag. You follow me, I'll follow you back. I'm all about sharing information on Twitter and of course having a good time. Never shy away from a conversation unless it turns into trolling stuff. But I can talk just about anything. Go Steelers!
For sure. Damn right. Shout out Steelers, Steeler Nation. Ironically, Mike, and Jar are big Steelers fans. So, yeah, everybody else, you guys got to kind of deal with that. But oh well. So, Mike, let everybody know where they can find you, brother. Again.
Sorry about that. I had my my microphone muted. My kids were making some noise upstairs. I forgot to unmute it.
Okay.
You guys, you can find me on Twitter at Cadus511. Similar to Jarhead, I don't shy away from any conversation about gaming. But if it starts turning into trolling, I will mute you in a heartbeat. Don't try to trigger me into making me upset because it's not going to work. But other than that, I'm always open for conversation. And you can also find me on Xbox Live. Gamertag is Cadus. And just like Jarhead, if you follow me, I'll be happy to follow you back.
Awesome. Okay, Pred, let everybody know, G.
Yo, I'm over here, so I haven't had a chance to play a lot of games lately. I haven't actually done anything with my channel because I'm stuck over here in the Middle East. But I'll be back here beginning of next year, so you can still follow my channel, follow me on Twitter, and as always, I'll be in everybody's chat for a small amount of time before I have to go to work over here. It is about 5:30, coming up on 5:30 in the morning. I got to get ready for work here in a minute. So, but thanks for having me on again, Blam. Luckily, I got up early enough to jump in with you guys today. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for your service.
Hey, Blam, if you don't mind, a quick shout out, man, to Predator. Trust me, man, I've been out there on that side of the world, dude. Happy hunting. Stay safe and get your ass home.
Yes,
all right?
Absolutely.
Just wanted to say that.
Absolutely. Definitely. We appreciate everything you do, man. All these servicemen in the Middle East, too, by the way. Huge shout out to you guys. So, and the last guy, obviously, like I said, needs no introduction. But go ahead, GKB. Let everybody know, man, if they don't already know.
What's up, everybody? It's GKB. You can find me everywhere at Gamers Knows Best. Big shout out to She-Wolf. Big, huge shout out to Blam. He's got one of the biggest hearts in gaming out there. So everybody follow him. I'm super happy he got to 1,000 subs. It's fantastic. Shout out to the panel. You guys are fantastic. I love talking to you guys and everything like that. Predator, stay safe, bro. You need anything, man, you know where I'm at. I'll send you whatever you need. And the rest of the community, man, we love you guys. It's the end of the year. It's the holidays. Let's stop all the trash talking and bullshit on social media. Let's start being cool with each other, at least for a couple weeks anyway.
I knew that was coming. I was like, yeah, I knew, you know what the funny thing is? I knew it was coming because I'm like, this motherfucker really don't mean that, do he? No, I'm just playing. But GKB, no, he's right. No, I'm all jokes aside, he's right. Let's at least we can set it aside for the holidays. Then we can pick that shit right back up next year. So,
yep.
No, it'll be cool though. No, so I'm Blam, the host with the most, man. I want to say I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you guys so much, man. Hitting 1,000 subs was like a huge milestone for me. I appreciate the support. You can find me everywhere at PTK Blam, Xbox Live, Twitter, on here, YouTube. Please follow, subscribe, man, for more content. We do this podcast every week. Me and GKB. Oh, make an announcement here, by the way. I know I put the poll up and it was only, but due to I have to make sure everything lines up. We're going to be doing the Just Play, the Q&A that we do me and GKB now, we're going to be doing that bi-weekly. So it's going to be every other week rather than weekly due to scheduling and things like that. So you guys look out for another episode of that. Obviously not next week, but the following week. And we're out of here, guys. You guys have enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Community game night is tonight. Game night. So, come out, play, have some fun, shoot the shit, and let's play some games, man. But we're out of here, man. You guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and have a good one. We're out.
Game on.
Go Cowboys.